Did you know? Kentucky Fried Chicken claims to still follow Colonel Sanders' original 1940 chicken recipe. This handwritten secret recipe, said to consist of some 11 herbs and spices, is guarded inside a 770-pound safe, surrounded by 2 feet of concrete on each side, and kept under 24/7 video and motion detection surveillance. The contents of the recipe are kept on a strict need-to-know basis for those working at KFC, and the few who do learn of it are sworn to secrecy. To ensure that snoopers can't find out the recipe, each ingredient is shipped in from a different supplier before being sent to another company that blends half of the recipe together. Afterwards, the half-completed blend is transported to a computerized processing system which mixes in the exact amounts of the remaining half. The companies involved in this process don't even know each other. This hasn't stopped people from trying to recreate Sanders' mixture for themselves, however. Sanders' nephew, Joe Ledington, made headlines after revealing an alleged copy of KFC's secret recipe to the Chicago Tribune in 2016. While the copy isn't written by Sanders himself, Ledington claimed he mixed the exact ingredients alongside his uncle. Ledington said, "I mixed them over the top of the garage for years. The big thing we did was mix it with flour and bag it up and sell it to restaurants. That's what I did as a 10, 11, 12-year-old kid." Following the interview, Ledington partially backtracked on his claims, stating that while the recipe could be real, he wasn't entirely sure. Regardless, KFC responded to Ledington's supposed discovery, stating, "Lots of people through the years have claimed to discover or figure out the secret recipe, but no one's ever been right." Speaking on the food chain's sneakiness, a fan on Twitter discovered a different kind of KFC secret. On October 19, 2017, Twitter user Mike Edgett commented that the official KFC Twitter account only follows the 5 former Spice Girls and 6 guys named Herb. This was a reference to KFC's secret blend of 11 herbs and spices in their fried chicken. The tweet was liked and retweeted hundreds of thousands of times, prompting a response from KFC themselves. KFC reached out to Edgett, sending him a custom painting of himself receiving a piggyback ride from Colonel Sanders. Although Colonel Sanders' role founding the company and creating its recipe cannot be understated, he wasn't the only person who helped KFC become the multi-billion-dollar franchise it is today. One of these unsung heroes is a man known as Pete Harmon. After Sanders' original roadside restaurant in Corbin, Kentucky was bypassed by the construction of the Interstate 75 highway, the Colonel sold off his restaurant. He then traveled the US trying to sell his chicken to other restaurant owners. Sanders ultimately met Pete Harmon at Chicago's National Restaurant Association convention, and on nothing but a handshake, the two agreed to partner up. In exchange for Sanders' recipe and a royalty of 5 cents per chicken sold, Pete opened what would become the first KFC franchise restaurant at Salt Lake City, Utah in 1952. Pete would prove pivotal to the company's success. In fact, it was Pete who first came up with the idea to sell chicken in a bucket in 1957. Pete recalled, "A guy in Colorado had bought 500 buckets and didn't know what to do with them, so the Colonel asked us if we wanted to take them off his hands. I wanted to get rid of them quickly, so we filled them with 14 pieces of chicken, 5 rolls, and a pint of gravy, and sold it for $3.50. The buckets were marketed to housewives as a means of whipping up an easy family dinner in a pinch, and were suggested to be paired alongside a salad or vegetables. They quickly became widely popular with Utah's traditionally large families, and KFC sold 300 buckets in just 2 days. The meal was such a hit that it made up nearly half of the company's business by the turn of the millennium. Pete would also go on to make training manuals and guides for future franchisees, overseeing more than 200 KFC locations throughout 4 states, and helped push the company's classic "finger-lickin' good" slogan. However, credit for coming up with the slogan goes to Pete Harmon's brother, Dave Harmon, who opened up his own KFC in Phoenix, Arizona, and Ken Harbour, Dave's restaurant manager. Dave originally hosted commercials for KFC, but was unable to continue this after suffering a stroke. Ken took his place, but Dave still wanted to be in the commercials one way or another, and decided to tag along and simply eat chicken in the background. One day after a commercial aired, an angry woman called the TV station complaining, "That Mr. Harmon is licking his fingers." Ken immediately countered, "Well, it's finger-licking good." Even the name Kentucky Fried Chicken didn't come from Colonel Sanders. Sanders' original restaurant, which also still stands today, went under the name Sanders Corton Cafe. The name Kentucky Fried Chicken was invented by Don Anderson, a sign painter hired by Pete Harmon. Pete considered calling the restaurant Utah Fried Chicken, but Anderson didn't think the name had a good ring to it. So, Pete asked Anderson, "What do you think we should call it?" To which Anderson replied, "Well, Colonel Sanders is from Kentucky and it's fried chicken. How about Kentucky Fried Chicken?" The name stuck till 1991 when the company announced that Kentucky Fried Chicken would officially be shortened to KFC. Many ideas have attempted to explain why KFC made the change. One popular conspiracy theory claimed that the US Food and Drug Administration forced the company to change its name, on the grounds that what KFC sold could not be legally called chicken. It was supposedly discovered that the fast food chain used genetically altered chickens to cut down on expenses. The exact nature of these genetically modified fowl varies from beakless and featherless birds to oversized four-legged mutants between tellings. Of course, no evidence of this exists. On the other hand, official press relations at the time stated the name was changed in an effort to remove the word fried, which potentially implied the food was unhealthy. However, the company may have been influenced by financial concerns as well. 1 year before Kentucky Fried Chicken changed its name, the state of Kentucky was deep in debt, and in an odd stab at gaining some much-needed funds, decided to trademark the state's name. This meant that anyone who wanted to use the word Kentucky for business purposes would need to pay licensing fees to the state, obviously putting Kentucky Fried Chicken in a bind. According to Snopes, the company attempted to negotiate with the Commonwealth of Kentucky, but the state refused to budge. Therefore, unwilling to submit to such a terrible injustice and save money, the company decided to change their name altogether. It wouldn't be till 2006 that KFC finally came to an agreement with the state over the rights to use Kentucky in the company's name and marketing materials. KFC's popularity isn't contained solely within the borders of the United States, however. Sanders Company stands as one of the most prolific fast food chains in the world, with over 21,000 locations throughout 131 countries. In fact, KFC was the first American fast food chain to open its doors in England, Australia, New Zealand, Cambodia, and Hong Kong. KFC even managed to open locations in Latin America, Asia, Africa, and the Middle East before McDonald's. KFC's success abroad can be credited to the chain's flexible menu, which changes by region to better fit different cultures. For instance, KFC in India adds more veggie options to appease the nation's massive vegetarian population, and for the most part, this strategy works well. On the other hand, KFC's Filipino branch received criticism after unveiling the Cheese Top Burger, a chicken sandwich with a slice of cheese melted on top of the bun rather than inside it. In spite of this, the Cheese Top Burger went on to sell shockingly well. KFC Philippines marketing manager Errol Malgdato told ABS-CBN News, "It's beyond all expectations. We knew that this product was going to be interesting, but we never thought that it was going to be this big." Over in Japan, KFC has opened hole-in-the-wall outlets that exclusively serve multi-flavored pieces of boneless chicken, known as karaage. Meanwhile, 2 all-you-can-eat KFC buffets have opened in Osaka, where patrons can devour as much as they desire for 90 minutes. The buffet also offers a variety of pastas, sausages, salads, coffee jellies, beers, and more alongside the chain's usual fare. China's first KFC, located within walking distance of Tiananmen Square in Beijing, stands 3 stories tall and seats up to 500 customers with a staff of around 150 employees. The restaurant was such a novelty that people travel from miles around just to experience it. Warren Liu, former YUM Brands executive and author of KFC in China, Secret Recipe for Success, wrote, "Though eating out at China's first KFC was expensive, it was a curious, exciting, unique, and brand new experience never before encountered by a Chinese customer. From the very beginning, KFC was never a fast food experience for Chinese customers. Dining at a KFC restaurant was like taking a brief tour of America." Since then, KFC has taken the nation by storm, opening over 5,000 locations in some 1,100 towns and cities. KFC's astonishing growth rate in China has surpassed every other restaurant company in the country, both foreign and domestic. The brand also has the title of largest restaurant chain in China, touting an 11.6% slice of the nation's market share, more than double of McDonald's. KFC's popularity has even eclipsed other Western heavyweights like Coca-Cola with Chinese consumers as well. Some KFCs in China have also ditched paper menus in favor of ordering food through smartphones via the use of QR codes. Meanwhile, other locations have experimented with customers ordering with their face. At an upscale KFC restaurant under the name K-Pro in the city of Hangzhou, customers place orders through a terminal which scans their face. Should they match a photo ID stored on the system, the customer can simply enter their phone number to complete the transaction. The company maintains that their Smile to Pay program is completely secure, and the software analyzes over 600 different facial features to guarantee a match. Furthermore, the software cannot be fooled by photos or videos either, thanks to the system's 3D camera and liveness algorithm. Did you also know that Gordon Ramsay once staged a crime to save his career? Or that McDonald's was once involved in a fast food arms race called the Burger Wars? For more facts, check out our videos on Gordon Ramsay and McDonald's.